All right, I call this meeting back into order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing. I will be the Special Magistrate for today's hearing. We are on to the other matters agenda. If you're going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, would you please arise and raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida? Yes. Please be seated. There's two cases that are going to be called in the order in which they appear on the agenda. When you hear your case called, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side. The city will be on the podium on my left-hand side. These cases, especially when it comes to fine reduction hearings, are brought by you. So generally, you have to explain to me what it is that you're asking for and what are the reasons that I should grant it. All right, city can call the first case.
Other matter number 1, case number CE 05110265, case address 4400 North Terrace Drive.
Mitch Posner, Code Enforcement, case ending in 265, 4400 North Terrace. Date order 2/15/06, fine started 2/28/06, ran for 4,937 days. Total is $246,850. Fine is $50 a day. Date of compliance 9/5/19. This is a new owner. Mitigating factors on the application was they purchased in 2014 and property has been in compliance since then. But the fine wasn't complied till 2019, and under this ownership, they were cited 8 times. So it certainly hasn't been maintained in compliance since then. Normal ask for this situation would be 30%. Given the size of the lien, the city's asking for 15%.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Bernadine Jones.
And tell me what you're asking for and why should I grant it to you?
Well, we are asking for a little bit more leniency than the 15%, as, yes, this property was, it is previous owner, and the violations it was in compliance in 2014, but then they had their rental licenses from the time they purchased it until now. The rental licenses have been good. They've had some problematic tenants that they've had to evict, and they always evicted them as soon as the city told them that the tenants were problematic. They maintained the property. It's been on bi-weekly lawn care since 2014. They've maintained the property. Any cars, trailers, anything like that the city has to be removed, it was removed in a timely manner. Yes, it did fall out of compliance.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Bernadine Jones.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I just didn't write it down.
Oh, okay. So yes, it did fall out of compliance during the time of ownership, but it was always dealt with within that time. The violations for the fine were the previous owner's violations. They were not for the owner right now, but I have all their rental licenses from 2014 until today. It's been in full compliance with rental licenses from day one. And they, like I said, and problematic tenants have been in and out of there, and they've, done evictions as needed to remove the tenants.
Ma'am, just so I'm clear, the owner in this case is EC1 Land Trust. What is your relation to them?
I've been working for them like 7 years. I'm a transaction coordinator for them. I do a lot of their closing stuff and, stuff like
You're
that.
employed by them, and I guess they hold other real
No, I'm an
estate?
independent contractor.
You're an
and
independent
I work,
contractor?
and they just have me come to
Do they
these.
know that you're here for them?
They sure do.
Magistrate, we do have her down as a designated agent supplied by the applicant.
Okay.
Yeah.
good.
He's
And-
not local right now. He's in Ohio.
So EC1 Land Trust, is that I guess if one gentleman owns that trust?
Yes, his name is Brandon Grimshaw, and he owns that, and this is this is just a rental property of his. But like I said, he has a property manager here local. Her name's Lynn, and she's notified anytime the property falls out of compliance, like I said, and she'll work with, code and whoever to get it into compliance. And, I have bills for days since 2014, and like I said, any kind of thing that popped up, they did get it taken care of, but they've been in status and good with their rental licenses from beginning to end till now.
Yeah, I don't see a rental license issue on this particular
Yeah, it was all
citation.
the lien is from the previous owner, and then like I said, he's been renting this out since 2014.
So this, so you're can I use client, a good way to put it? I guess your client purchased the property when?
In 2014, let me see. I have the tax record somewhere here.
And when was this lien certified?
The lien is from a 2005 case.
And it was complied 2019?
Correct, 5 years after they purchased the property. I think maybe part of what you're saying is you couldn't comply until you had a rental license?
No, we had their rental license from the beginning, but they
Okay.
didn't know about, I mean, they had the property in great condition when they bought it. The lien was, I mean, they didn't know, there was no lien that he knew of when he got it. He was renting it out.
I
So he
understand.
got the renters in there, and then that's when he got notified by code. I guess it was in 2019, and that's when he found out, he was like, okay, there's this violation on there, but again, it was previous owner, and he planned on renting it out. He's still not selling it. He's still gonna keep on renting it out. He just asked that I get this taken care of now. It wasn't, any,
Was
we're not
it,
we're not doing this because he's trying to sell it right now. He's doing it because he wants to get, everything good on it. But like I
Did
said,
he not do a title search when he bought this in 2014?
in 2014, you know what? I'm not, I'm not sure if he did the title search in 2014. It was 7 years ago. Like I said, he bought it as a rental property. And then he found out, in 2019 when they reached out to him, and it was because of a tenant. But again, they did an eviction, I
Yeah,
think, on two
it would
tenants.
seem to me that that's a pretty big issue when you're buying
Yeah, it
properties
is.
from you.
I absolutely agree. I do. So, I mean, this is going back to March 2014, so.
And the city
Just this
complied this
one.
property in 2019. I guess when you were seeking the rental license, you became aware of it, and then
No,
the
he
city
got a
came
rental
out and-
license in 2014. I have all his rental licenses right here from
So you
2014.
had a rental license how did they get a rental license when they had a violation on the property?
The violation wasn't one that would impact the rental license. We have nothing in our code that prevents them from getting a rental license with some kind of an exterior violation.
But everything, I mean, I have things for the soffits, the trims, the hedges, the bushes, everything that was done at the property. But yeah, I have every single rental license here from the 2014. So he did get granted rental licenses, and he's had it rented out on and off throughout the years. But he kept
And
the
what are
license valid.
so the city said that there were 8 different citations since 2014 on this property?
Yes, sir. According to our records, it was purchased by her client for $37,000 in April of 2014. Well, the month might be wrong. In 2014, even though it appraised at $72,000. Whether or not they knew about the lien, I have no idea, but that's certainly on the ownership. And under their ownership, it was cited 8 times. So basically, the city's been having to do some of the property management.
Can you give me just a sense of what the citations are for?
I can look them up, but as I recall, half of them were sanitation issues. I would probably have to agree that most of this is caused by the tenants on the property. They're the ones that would be putting out the trash and the trash piles and
So
in the wrong place. And
would the city agree that the pattern essentially is the code enforcement sees something, they make a citation, it ends up in the hands of the property manager who then addresses it, but it's the city that brings it to the attention of the property manager? Is that the city's basic argument about what's going on here?
okay, if I follow all of what you're saying, all 8 cases were rectified once it was brought to their attention with a notice of violation, so they never went to a hearing. But the city's still having to do the work and manage it for them to let them know that's what their property manager is for.
All right, Ms. Jones, what are you asking me for?
I mean, less than 15%. I mean, we were hoping to pay like $3,000 to $5,000, and we know that you guys have had to do stuff. There was work put into this. The code enforcement officer has been out to the property, and we know that. So we're not, trying to just say, down to admin fees or whatever. We are saying that, we did everything that possible. We were able to get rental licenses. Property stayed in compliance, and we were hoping for leniency since it was a 2005 code violation, and so it's been sitting there, and we've been keeping it in compliance, as we were told. Like I said, with the tenants.
So let's see, the current fine is what, $246,850? Do I have that right?
246,850.
So 15% would be
37,027 and 50 cents.
37,000.
$27.50.
So let's just say for round number's sake, 37,000 is what the city's asking for. And you're asking me for what, ma'am?
3,000 to 5,000.
Well, it's a big difference.
It is, but I mean, I think, Mitch, can you agree? I mean, it was, pretty much acted on fast throughout the years, the last 7 years, if things were being done. There was no other liens for the last 7 years. The new owner has not had a single lien or, anything like that. Everything was done within the time frame of that you guys were given. It wasn't, the lien is all from prior. So, in the last 7 years, they've shown that they've been keeping the property good. If there's a problematic tenant, they evict them or give them notice to leave. And, there's been cars removed and, so they have done good over the last 7 years, which you can see by their track record.
I tell you what I'm willing to do. I'll reduce it. I mean, part of my problem with reduction, I'll be really honest with
Sure.
you, is that it shouldn't be the city's job to go by the property periodically and let your client's manager know that there are problems on the property. It should be your client that makes sure.
Well, they
that
have somebody going by bi-weekly. Even the lawn's been bi-weekly for the past
Yeah,
7
but
years.
If you're getting
I mean,
8 citations in the course of the last, 6 years, it kind of means that the city is
Yeah,
sort of
for
being.
cars and the owners, like, but you know what, we can go by, and the next day, we have people out there, putting junk on their property, you can't be there every single day when you're renting a property, but,
I
we have people go
recognize
by
that.
every 2 weeks, and then when there's things, they had, they're like loitering outside, whatever it is, they're storing things outside the next day.
Yeah, I recognize that, but if the city is citing you 8 times over the last several years, it's not a sign of active property management. I
Well,
can
it's
see 1 or 2.
8 times over the last 7 years, that's a little, like, one a year, which, like I said, and if it was, a tenant, we can only be there so much. It's not that, they're there every single day. Even if we were there once a week, tenants they do what they want after a property owner or a property manager leaves.
This is what I will do for you, because it does sound like you are on top of this property a little bit. The city wants 15%. I'll cut that in half to about 8%. So what is 8% of, well, what's half of 15 is 7.5%? Somebody do math for me quickly. Seven and a half, right? That's half of 15.
$18,513.75.
All right, we'll just say 18,000 even, just to save us some math calculations here. And I'll give you 60 days.
Do you have the board order ready right now, or should we get?
Bernadine, will they be able to do it in 60 days, or? Because we're fine with more time.
Other matter number 2, case number CE 19010338, case address 410 26th Street.
Magistrate, we're doing a little training, so I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Williams here. Just want to say we're very pleased to present this one because it's our 4th try.
Did they give you an easy one to start?
It's not his first one.
Okay.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Case ending in 338, 410 26th Street. Date ordered 2/2019. Fine started 3/7/19. Total of 305 days of non-compliance. Current fine $30,500. Daily fine of $100 per day. Date of compliance 1/6/2020. This is a new owner. 0 violations under their ownership. The only mitigating factor is that they are a new owner, and the city's asking 25%.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, good morning. It's Caroline Mohan.
And you are representing the,
I am representing SAM JV, Strategic Alliance, and this is a HUD property, and they are in control of the property at this present time. All of the code violations have been corrected since they have gotten the property into their hands.
well, presumably that's always true if you come for a lien reduction, since they don't let you in the door unless you're in compliance.
Oh,
So the The current fine is $30,500, so you're here to ask me for a reduction. So what is it that you're asking me for, ma'am?
I am asking you for what's the best that you can do between $5,000-$10,000.
What's the city want? 25%? What's that math? I'm doing math badly today, so you're just gonna have to tell me numbers.
7,625.
I'll reduce it to 7,000. Even. Does that work for you, ma'am?
Okay.
All right. So in case CE 190103338, is there a certain amount of time you're gonna need to pay this?
No.
All right. So we'll say 30 days, $7,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to get that done. Very glad to get that done. Are you okay from last time?
Does the city have anything else for today? You have anything else for today? All right. This meeting is hereby adjourned.